1 in 5 CEOs are psychopaths. As you move up the corporate hierarchy, your odds of encountering one of these dark triad personalities are higher. Why is that? We've all heard horror stories of the toxic boss. Chances are you probably experienced one yourself. People don't quit jobs, they quit managers. In this show Industry on HBO Max, takes the trope of the toxic manager and expands on it. It follows new grads as they navigate London's investment banking world. And in the show, the managers display dark triad traits, the new grads display dark triad traits. The whole show is just a cesspool of toxicity, manipulation, ego, and betrayal. So let's get into how these dark triad traits manifest in the corporate world. We'll get into the telltale signs that your direct manager or coworker may exhibit some of these traits. We'll go over how to avoid them and what to do when you encounter them in the workplace. So let's get into it. But first, what are dark triad traits? In psychology, there are 3 types of dark triad personalities, characterized by their self-serving nature. The first type of dark triad personality is called psychopathy. Psychopaths are known for their cold and manipulative attitude and nature. They just don't care. These types will use people to their end and feel no ounce of remorse about it. The second type of dark triad personality is narcissism. These types are known for their inflated sense of self-worth. They're all about appearances and letting you know at every opportunity they get that they're better than you. The third type of dark triad is known as Machiavellianism. What makes this type different from the other two is how conniving they are, how cunning and manipulative they are. These types are all about their bottom line, all about the finesse. And if you've ever looked into the eyes of one of these people and felt nothing but intense dread, you've probably just encountered a dark triad. It's like the lights are on, but no one's home. Now, there are commonalities among each type. To learn more about dark triad personality types, watch this video here on 4 ways that they manipulate you. Now that you have a better understanding of dark triad traits, let's look at how they show up in the relationships between the characters on the show. First, let's look at Harper. When we first see her, she clearly has a chip on her shoulder.
I think this is the closest thing to a meritocracy there is, and I only ever want to be judged on the strength of my abilities.
She says she wants to be judged off the strength of her abilities, as opposed to what? Her gender? Her race? She probably hasn't been judged by those things in the past, which leads to her having this something to prove mentality. As the show unfolds, you get the sense that she came from a poor background. For one, she gets her ex to make her a fake transcript. She grew up with a single mother who was very strict on them and put a lot of pressure, especially on her older brother.
You know, that was the best I think I've ever seen you play.
I got so fucking lucky.
What?
And you got no idea the shit Mom said to me before that game.
She said, you don't win, you don't have a home here.
Why didn't you tell me any of
Fuck,
this?
man, you're indoctrinated, Harper. The cult of our family.
You know I ran away too, right?
So she was desperate to escape her circumstances and prove her value. She places her sense of self-worth on professional achievement and climbing the corporate ladder. And when your self-worth comes from an external place, dark triad personalities can pick up on this and use that to manipulate you. So let's get into Harper's relationship with Eric Tao. When we first meet Harper, she appears to be confident.
Why are you here then?
I think mediocrity is too well hidden by parents who hire private tutors. I am here on my own.
But this is just a front. She bites her tongue and is passive at times. For example, and this goes to show how cutthroat Eric is. He tells Harper to find out when one of their important clients, Phelim, is in the building next, because he somehow finds out that he's meeting with FX desk, which is foreign exchange, and giving them the commissions instead of him. So he tells Harper to use some backhanded tactics in order to find out when Phelim is coming in.
Hey, hi. Can I help with something? Yeah. Do you have access to the FX client tracker? I'm not sure I can share it with you. Yeah, don't worry, I don't need full access. One of my clients is double booked with one of your guys, and you know how it is. I just want to iron out the kinks. Sure. Yeah. What's your client's name? Oh shit, he's not there.
Cap.
My bad. See you at the dinner. Okay.
So they find out when Wyndham is coming into the building. And then since Eric knows his clients well, he knows that he's going to be always 10 minutes early.
Phelim, I knew you'd be 10 minutes early for your meeting.
So they go in 10 minutes early and ask him what's going on. Why are they meeting with FX instead of him in his desk? Eric, he tends to say very crass things when he gets drunk.
I don't know, Eric. Maybe you think it's acceptable to call your wife that in front of her own friends, but do you even remember what you said? Because I'd prefer not to repeat it.
And when this comes out, this makes Harper very uncomfortable. This makes her not speak up. And then afterwards, he grills her for it.
Why didn't you speak up?
Sorry, I didn't know that you wanted me to.
Engineering this, bringing this young lady into the room is, I don't know what, prop?
I don't need quiet and nice on my desk.
Then again, it's understandable why she may not have felt comfortable speaking up. Because how could she know the backstory between Eric and Phelim? How can she be confident about a situation she knows nothing about? So I can see why she doesn't speak up in that situation. So here's a better example. And this is set during the time after the epidemic and people are starting to return to office. The London branch of the sales team of the bank is underperforming. So to try to make up for this, Eric tells Harper again to do some shady tactics, some shiesty tactics to try to steal a client from the FX desk.
Your buddy Yasmin's talking to that fund out of Brevin. Jump on and show him you're a more sophisticated touch point into our offer.
Are we stepping across the FX accounts?
If leadership's on the same tide, let's make sure we're the biggest boat.
Are you worried that New York is outperforming
Hook
us?
into that call with FX today, please.
Hi.
Maxim, this is Harper Stern from Cross Products.
¿Qué es esta Casa Blanca de Nixon?
I just want to let you know
That we are very much here if you need any
flow or color/currency ideas from the CPS end.
Ya, ¿sabías que estaba escuchando?
No, but I shouldn't be surprised. As you know, the layup trade over the
past 12 months has been selling the dollar.
and
And?
Can I ask you another very serious question?
and
What do you think of the case of the picture? As an actor,
And
really struck me by your thought.
Ya estaré esta noche.
So similar to the Phelim meeting, she chokes. Again, it's understandable why she chokes here too. He's literally asking Harper to go behind her client's back to try to steal their business. And you know what? All of her muck-ups stem from Eric asking her to do something shiesty. He's the root of all of this. So let's talk about how throughout the show, he molds her to be like him. For example, when he tells her that the relationships between her and the clients are more important than the relationships between her and the firms.
These institutions are just shells that shelter you in your key client relationship. And if you keep that, you can manage someone like Bloom, you can migrate from place to place. They'll fucking house you, pay you up, and call you family. You become bigger than the institution.
Going off of this advice, she betrays Rishi for Bloom. Bloom is a huge investor. Think like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos type money. And so basically they're trying to make this trade so that the stock for this telehealth company, they're betting on it going down, but they really think it's going to go up. And if you're in investment banking or if you understand stocks, basically there's a way that you can make money whether the stock goes up or down. And that's what they're trying to do here.
Listen, Jesse, I think this thing is about to move our fucking way. I'm not stepping out. I am not letting you walk away from this with a loss. We sell more into the reversal, and we pummel this bitch until she yelps.
That's all very cute, but you heard your trader. He thinks it's going down now. From his lips to God's ears. He's not going to put in a strong bid. And what's the catalyst?
Yes, it's going down, but that is the trade after the trade. First, he needs to think it's going up. Because a big investor still needs to buy to cover in order to stop out. You are going to be that big investor. I'll make sure he reads you the wrong way. We are going to cheat him. We're going to tell him that you're stopping out. He'll think you're buying to cover the short, so he'll set his price high. We'll get his price, and then we'll sell through him and move this thing our direction.
You pull this off?
Then you are my client. And you will tell everyone. And if I want to go to MS, GS, CS, City, fucking Mars, you will tell them that I am the guarantor of your business.
To make this happen, maybe we are talking.
Harper is basically trying to get the trader, Rishi, to misread him. So Bloom wants to sell out of all of his shares because they think the stock is going to go down. But this is the trick. They really think the stock is going to go up. So instead of selling the stock, they actually buy more of the stock.
85.45 around 3. You like it?
Make him wait. You get a better price.
Off. Higher now. Make him 95.55. I'm taking him to the cleaners.
Do the man there. Yours. Sell.
Yours. Bloom sells 18.952 million at 295.
Yours. What do you mean fucking yours?
I mean, he sells.
You mentally challenged, so you're at your fucking tree.
He guaranteed you a trade on your spread, on your price, not a direction. You read him too far, took the piss, he called you out, and that's that.
Do you think I'm soft? You put your hand up to signal we were done and he was a buyer.
You misread my signal. I told you to wait, and then I signaled to sell. Rish, we have a verbal contract, you know that.
You don't spiv the spiv!
You knowingly helped Rishi read him the wrong way. So Rishi laid 3 points above the fair price, expecting Jesse to buy it off.
Right, and now I'm long a load more of this shit at a shit price. I'm in a $75 million hole.
I heard the whole sorry fucking thing.
So they pull this trick on Rishi, and yeah.
She's blown up my entire year. You gotta be losing friends with this kind of behavior.
She basically goes off of Eric's advice and just completely backstabs her colleagues. Just basically just screw them over in order to enrich herself.
Harper, you're the most selfish person I've ever met in my life.
This next scene right here encompasses Harper's character in a nutshell.
What is it with you and bullies, Harper? Just seem to go from one to another. Just because the business is fickle, it doesn't mean that you have to be.
This is the behavior of someone who's psychologically scarred. So because of those psychological scars, they put themselves in very destructive situations. This all stems from her childhood. Her first bully was her mother. As we get into more of her backstory, we see that her mother put a lot of pressure on her and her brother, leading them to run away from home. So not having your psychological needs met as a child can cause you to seek relationships, whether professional, personal, or otherwise, that recreate those same toxic dynamics that you've experienced in childhood. Because in a strange way, that toxicity is comforting. That's all you knew as a kid, so you seek that as an adult. There's a saying that goes, if a child grows up in a burning house, they'll live the rest of their lives thinking the world is on fire. Harper encapsulates this quote to a T. So the key takeaway to learn from Harper is that we must first reflect on how we were treated as a child, reflect on the dynamics of the relationships that we had as children, and be very aware of how the dynamics of those relationships play out in our adult life. Before we can do anything in our current relationships, in terms of stepping up for ourselves, we must first be aware. Awareness is the first step. See, once we are aware of the underlying toxic dynamics that stem from our childhood, we can then be present and take the steps necessary to correct those. And this concludes Harper's episode of handling dark triad personalities in the workplace. In future episodes, we'll go over how to deal with these dark triad personalities and how to navigate them if you find yourself in a toxic work environment. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.